Welcome to segment 6. We just had an interesting conversation with Rob Pincus on our show, who is president of ICE Training, talking about really close quarter battle, but concealed carry in general. And just sort of in keeping with the rant that I did and the topic, I think for me, and you probably have your own issue, but for me the issue is people don't know what they don't know. And they will call in and they'll go, why do I have to take 16 hours? I shoot 1,000 rounds a week and put it in the middle of the X and they don't understand that none of that really matters.
Sure.
It doesn't have a lot of play. And I always use the video, which I love. I think I'm going to put it in our new deck. The video of they look like rebels who give the chimpanzee an AK-47 laughing, and the chimpanzee starts hosing them down with it.
Sure.
And because I always say that, I go, if you give me enough bananas, I can teach a monkey to shoot somebody at 15 feet. It's not that it's not important. It's just not the biggest part of the equation.
It's not the most important.
Yeah. And that's what people have a hard time. When they leave our class after 16 hours.
They know.
Yeah,
they understand it by then.
They get it. Yeah.
Well, and I say too, as far as the shooting element of self-defense, getting it out of the holster, out of concealment is really the biggest thing that needs to be practiced. The shooting part is the easy part.
Sure.
It's drawing from concealment is the hairy part.
We have, in 16 hours, and we basically don't teach 8 hours anymore. We haven't taught an 8 hour.
We haven't taught it in months.
Yeah, probably over a year, really.
Yeah.
And people will call, I was ex-Army or whatever, and I go, oh, really? You do a lot of combat with a pistol? They really just don't get it. And here's what I'm finding. We're about to redo the deck, right? And we got to take some stuff out because there's other stuff that needs to go in.
Right. Yeah.
It's sort of a dynamic thing. People raise questions in class, and you hear it often enough, you go, you know what?
We probably should talk about that.
It's got to go in.
Right.
Yeah. But the problem is literally we've got more than 16 hours already.
Yeah, unfortunately, I went to 5:30 yesterday.
I know you did,
it was
actually.
Supposed to be done by 5 for anyone who doesn't know, and I wasn't done with the law, so we had to go to 5:30.
Well, I went literally right up to the minute. Actually, I went a little bit over.
Sure.
And you don't always know, which is more valuable, X, Y. I mean, sometimes it's hard to tell.
Well, and to me, I think the most important thing, when we're in that situation, is answering their questions because they came with questions, or while they're sitting, their questions arise. And to me, if we're really doing a service for them, it's to answer their questions.
And I was just going to say, you're absolutely right. Every course is a little bit different.
Exactly.
And sometimes we run out of time to teach stuff that we want to teach because they've raised questions about some aspect and we spend time covering it.
Sure.
It should be a 3-day course. But if I said that out loud, people would lynch me.
Yeah, I think since we've been doing this for like 2.5 years, there's been one guy who said it should be longer.
It was a smart guy.
Yeah, well, it was just last week, too, actually.
Yeah,
it was my friend Michael, actually, last week.
And we didn't pay him to say that.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. It is. There's a lot of stuff, the whole physiology of it. And, after taking Rob's class, the kinesthesiology of it, just the way your body absorbs recoil, and the way you can position yourself to absorb that recoil and get the second shot off faster, and all that stuff, it's way more complex than people understand.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, and I think that the law portion really surprises people,
And takes them off.
Well, sometimes. I mean, we get some classes that, we talk about how you can't shoot somebody for a property crime. And, some classes as a group, they're just kind of like, okay, and then there's other classes where they really don't want to hear that.
I can smell the tar from down the hallway.
Right, they're heating it up. They're getting it ready. Yeah, and it's true. I mean, there are some classes where the people come in kind of loaded for bear, if you will. And I tell them that, and they really don't want to hear that if someone breaks the perimeter of their house, that's not good enough. And other classes are like, okay.
Yeah, but the okay ones are passive. They're all right.
Well, I mean, they're more coming at it like from a teachable place, of they're just open to whatever it is that we tell them. The people who don't like it are generally the ones that have the preconceived notions. And like you said, you don't know what you don't know. They think that they think that castle doctrine is an actual thing and it actually exists everywhere in the United States.
Yeah.
And then, one of the first things that I say when I start the law portion is, in Illinois in general, you have the right to self-defense. And I kind of pause and then I say, I know that sounds like duh, but that is not the case everywhere, as in Great Britain.
True. Absolutely. In Great Britain, it is actually now illegal to defend yourself.
Yeah, the police force basically issued a statement a couple of years ago saying that if someone attacks you, legally it's going to be so bad for you that you're better off not defending yourself.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, I can understand that.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, people sometimes get very upset with some of the things that we tell them.
Yes.
And, it's like a gun is a good example. People have this sort of preconceived notion. I'm going to buy this gun. And I go, when you strap that puppy on, your pants are going to fall down.
Right.
And I think it was you, actually, that said at the beginning of this whole thing a couple of years ago, if you're going to carry concealed, you're going to have wardrobe issues.
Yes.
And I kind of laughed at the time.
You did.
But it's true.
I distinctly remember you basically taunting me.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a Gretchenism,
and now you repeat it.
I do. And it's really true, because if you look, I bet you I probably have 6 holsters and 4 or 5 guns at least.
That you carry.
And each one is not at the same time, but
or maybe
but it depends kind of on and a good example is like going to the beach. Right. I mean,
what do
you
you
hide
do?
the gun?
Right,
exactly. Yeah. So people don't think about that, because particularly if you live in Illinois, you've got no frame of reference. You never had it, right? So this is all
new to us.
Yeah, it's all new to everybody. And you start,
and I hate to say, you and I have discussed this privately, but I don't talk about this in class very much. But when I was in police academy, they literally spent about 2 minutes on concealed carry. They basically said, we encourage you to carry your gun off duty. And if you carry your gun, you have to carry your badge. We don't think you should carry your badge without your gun.
Sure.
And that was pretty much it. That was pretty much the sum total.
We didn't even get that
of
in the county.
what they told us about carrying concealed in police academy. And so when we started doing this, to be honest, I didn't know the first thing about holsters. I didn't know the first thing about how to conceal, drawing from concealment. I was used to open carry. I was used to, drawing from a police holster. So yeah, it's a whole new world, not only for most people in Illinois, but even for those of us who've carried guns before.
Pincus, I told you, carries Mexican style. And that's not racist. That's an actual style.
Right. That's an actual thing.
Yeah. So
Mexican style, for anyone who doesn't know, Mexican is you just put the gun inside your waistband with
it's where you put it inside
holster,
your waistband.
Some people have a clip, actually, like a metal clip installed right on the gun.
Yeah.
To facilitate carrying Mexican style.
None of that is what concerns me. It's where under the waistband the gun goes.
But does it have to be there? Isn't it called Mexican?
That's what
yeah, but isn't it called Mexican no matter where you put it?
I don't know.
I think it's Mexican if you just don't use a holster. You just put it in your waistband.
So I hedged my bets, and I got sticky holster. And I put the gun right in the front there, which is where, this is where Pincus wears the gun. And on him, he's this kind of, really trim guy. And
he works out all the time.
I don't know that, but he probably does because he's in pretty good shape.
Right. I'm assuming he runs around a lot.
And I put that thing down there, pointed, where it points when it's there, and that's not comfortable.
For you?
No, it's not. It's bad enough standing.
You've even yelled at me when I've put my gun in my sticky holster in the front of my pants. Yeah. You go, don't shoot her off.
I don't want to go real far down this road, but I'm just pointing out.
Well, we're on the internet, so we can go as far as we want to.
Well, that's true. I forgot. Right, this is the internet.
You always forget that. It's hilarious.
When you put that in the front of your pants, and it's pointing down there. Now, standing up is bad enough, but when you sit down.
See, I have mine to the side. I have mine to the right because I'm right-handed, and so it's not right in the middle. It's not pointed right at my junk, although...
I don't think they call girls stuff junk.
Everything's junk.
Oh, okay.
And, but but no, it doesn't bother me. I mean, it's in a holster. The trigger's covered. I feel secure. I feel safe. I feel safe with baby Glock in there. Next to my junk.
I just want to point out, when I have a 45 caliber weapon pointed at my
junk,
there is a psychological aspect to that. You know what I'm saying, Jim? You'll understand that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe I can't fully appreciate it because I don't have the kind of junk you have.
But I got to say something. See, you said that earlier today, too. You go, well, I've got nothing to blow off. The flame.
No, that's not true.
The flame will fry it.
I have junk. It's just not the same kind of junk.
How did we lose control of this?
Somewhere on the line.
Somewhere we had this adult conversation about concealed carry, and now we're talking about genitalia.
You're the one that started down the road of Mexican. you said Mexican, so you brought it on yourself.
Okay, so changing the subject.
Okay, what else did you want to talk about?
Moving away from shooting our genitalia off by carrying Mexican. It's, oftentimes we have no idea where we're going. And this is one of those times.
This is one of those times.
There's no coming back.
And I asked you, before we started, you said you want to talk about concealed carry. And I said, so we're just going to go on for like 5 hours?
Okay.
I mean, because normally we go on for 16 hours.
Well, yeah. Getting back to Facebook's lighting up here.
I know. We just got a private message, so I'm going to look at it. Yeah.
Is it pithy?
I haven't looked at it yet. No. I just saw it pop up.
The thing that I find really rewarding, and all the joking and laughing aside, the thing I do find rewarding is that even people who come into our course with the I don't really need this attitude,
right?
Every evaluation we get,
right?
Literally. I mean, sometimes we get dinged on one little thing or other. We'll tell a little joke that somebody doesn't like. But overall,
I tell some off-color jokes.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to say that, but it's true.
It's me.
You have a bit of a potty mouth.
I do.
Yeah, I don't.
They like it. They tend to like it when I curse.
You tend to think that.
No, they told me.
That's because you throw candy at them.
Well, they like that too. But
yeah.
this class yesterday and today, they told me they like it when I curse.
You
have to. He's gobsmacked.
Sound has to come out of your mouth.
I have to agree with her. It was hard for that to come out.
Yeah, see, he's watched me. He's watched me teach more than you have, and he's seen the reactions.
They eat it up.
They like it.
Yeah.
See, if I do that, I get dinged. Oh, yeah. Well, you shouldn't talk like that in class.
I always tell this. Well, not always. I've had to cut it out lately because we don't have time for it. But I used to tell this road rage story, and I always end the story by saying, the problem with road rage is you don't know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that I'd push his nose into his brain as soon as look at him, and he looks like a pussy, but maybe he's not. They love that. They love that.
And here we are with more On Target Radio, Segment 6.
I do have the message on Facebook.
Okay.
Raymond said that he's very comfortable with appendix carry. It's even better than 4 o'clock.
What's his name? Raymond? Raymond, have you ever stopped to consider
shooting your junk off?
You know how sometimes men will scratch when no one's looking?
It's going to cause
no, because no one's looking, so I didn't know about that.
What if there's a trigger and you're scratching the? I don't know. I just
4 o'clock works for me.
Yeah, exactly. 4 o'clock works just fine for me. We probably should pull the pin on this because we're going downhill fast.
I think we pulled the pin several minutes ago.
I think that's probably true.
You mean throw it? We need to throw it.
Yeah.
Get rid of
it. When you pull the pin, after you pull the pin, Mr. Grenade is not your friend.
You have to get rid of it. Yes.
That's true.
Raymond thinks it's funny that I curse as well. He said something about that I have a mouth on me.
That's true. You should ride with her in the car. I'm in the fetal position the entire time she's driving. In the police academy, apparently state police, they teach you to drive like a homicidal maniac. And
no, quite the opposite. They call it emergency vehicle operations course.
And it is an emergency every time I ride with you. This is the only person I know that has 6 sacks in the passenger side of her car.
I do not. No, he's just telling lies.
Well, and it is what it is.
All lies.
I do find it kind of interesting that I haven't been stopped by the police in probably 15 years until I got concealed carry.
Right.
Now,
who's been stopped more between you and me?
I have twice. It's 2-1.
Yes.
And I really am confident that they didn't run my number and say he's a concealed carry holder, because both cases they were totally.
They were totally.
There was
cool.
no problem about it at all.
They were totally cool.
But it's just there's a certain level of irony that I can go for 15 to 20 years without a stop, get a concealed carry permit, and I get stopped twice.
Right, and you're the guy who says you won't put an NRA sticker on your vehicle because you don't want people to know you have guns.
Exactly.
But they still apparently know that you have guns.
Well, yeah. NSA knows too. I don't know. Were you going to say something before we
I was, but now it's gone.
flush it down the toilet here? Okay, it's gone. James, do you have anything pithy to say?
I'm all out of words.
How can you be out of words? You haven't spent any.
He's completely gobsmacked.
I'm not.
I heard him laugh on the air. That happened once, and that
Yeah,
was
we're
it.
making progress. We're making progress.
Look out the window. You'll throw up. All right, so
No, that's hilarious.
this
It's
has
like he
been
got hit by a bus.
this has been an unusual evening. This particular segment 6 probably was not going to be up for like an Emmy or anything.
It was lively.
That's true.
Sometimes they're not this lively.
And we're talking about shooting our junk off. I don't know. Maybe it will.
People probably like that.
But next week, I have no idea what we're going to do. Did you ever contact?
I emailed her, but she did not respond yet.
It was.
Cedric Crenshaw.
Yeah. So maybe.
I'm not close friends, but I know Cedric Crenshaw, and I saw her lovely countenance on a news tease for the ABC 7 News. So she was interviewed by the ABC News in Chicago about the transgender bathroom issue. So
People may not know who she is. We do because she's been on the show.
right. Well, she's an activist. She's a grassroots activist. She ran for Illinois State House,
yeah.
and I believe it was the House, not the Senate. And she, so she's been active in politics, and she is now working on more children's issues. She's dealing with a lot of school issues and things like that.
So if we can get a hold of her, we'll get her on because this sticks in my craw.
Well, and it seems to be a hot topic still. It seems to be staying in the news because of all the 13 states that are siding with North Carolina, and North Carolina is suing the Department of Justice, and the Department of Justice is countersuing, and so it's getting interesting.
So maybe next week when we come back, we will talk about that, and maybe we won't. I don't know. But in any case, have a good week, and thanks for listening to Segment 6.